This story is about a regular student named Gyoo-han who seems to have the worst luck ever. He has a strange jinx that every time he sneezes, things go totally wrong. His bad luck turns his daily life into one tricky adventure after another. But even with all this bad luck, Gyoo-han doesn't give up. He dreams of winning the heart of his crush, Chanmi, and believes that if he works hard enough, nothing is impossible. In the morning, Gyoo-han waking up in his small apartment. He looks like a total nerd with glasses and a neat shirt that he always wears. But there's something special about him. He sneezes a lot. And each time he sneezes, something unlucky happens. Like one morning, as he steps outside his apartment, he sneezes and suddenly, a motorcycle zooms past, splashing muddy water all over his shirt. Even though these unlucky moments keep happening, Gyoo-han stays cheerful. Why? Because he has a crush on Chanmi, a girl from his college class. Gyoo-han secretly admires her and even keeps her photos on his phone. One day, he sees on his phone that Chanmi's birthday is coming up. He decides to surprise her with an amazing gift, a fancy branded bag that costs a lot of money. To make this dream come true, Gyoo-han starts working extra hard at his part-time job. He's determined to save enough money to buy the bag. For Chanmi, no amount of sneezing or bad luck can stop him from trying to make her happy. After working so hard, Gyoo-han finally saved enough money to buy the fancy bag for Chanmi. He gave it to her, hoping to make her happy. But things didn't turn out the way he dreamed. Even after all his effort, Gyoo-han's life stayed the same, full of bad luck. While working at his part-time job with Sakyoung, a kind and pretty co-worker, Gyoo-han sneezed again. As always, bad luck followed. This time, an exhaust pipe fell off while Gyoo-han was fixing it, and both he and Sakyoung were fired from their job. Back in class, Gyoo-han tried to greet Chanmi, but she ignored him. She didn't seem to care about him at all. To make things worse, Gyoo-han saw Chanmi giving the bag he worked so hard to buy to Tae-yoon, a handsome and popular boy on campus. Gyoo-han felt heartbroken as he watched Tae-yoon, always surrounded by girls, enjoying his perfect life. Gyoo-han began to feel hopeless. No matter how hard he tried, nothing seemed to go his way. Feeling really down, he decided to go out drinking alone after college. By chance, Sakyoung was working at the place he went to, but she chose not to approach him. After a few drinks, Gyoo-han headed home. On the way, he saw something that made him feel even worse than Tae-yoon kissing another girl in a car. Gyoo-han felt crushed, thinking about how unfair life was for him. He sat on the sidewalk, tears streaming down his face. From a distance, Sakyoung noticed Gyoo-han sitting there. She had planned to return something he had left behind, but stopped when she saw how upset he was. Instead, she chose to quietly watch him, unsure of what to say. At that moment, Gyoo-han's sadness didn't go away. Then, he slowly walked home, feeling completely defeated and worn out. When Gyoo-han got home, he was shocked to see a man sitting on his sofa. The man was wearing a hooded jacket, hiding his face. As soon as Gyoo-han entered, the man lowered his hood, revealing his face. It was Hyuk-soo, Gyoo-han's uncle. At first, Gyoo-han wanted to kick him out, but he stopped when Hyuk-soo started talking about the curse in their family. Hyuk-soo explained that the sneezing Gyoo-han always experienced wasn't ordinary. It was part of a curse passed down through their family. The curse caused bad luck and could even make Gyoo-han's words and wishes turn out the opposite of what he wanted. Hyuk-soo warned him to be very careful when using the curse. If Gyoo-han used it too much, bad luck could strike him without needing to sneeze at all. The next day, Sakyoung came to Gyoo-han to return the ATM card he had left behind while drinking the night before. They sat on a park bench, and Sakyoung admitted that she had seen Gyoo-han crying. Before they could talk more, Hyuk-soo suddenly appeared and pulled Gyoo-han away. He took Gyoo-han to a salon, saying it was time to change his nerdy look. Hyuk-soo hoped that a new appearance would help Gyoo-han feel more confident. After his makeover, Gyoo-han went back to campus. Even though he had been hurt before, he decided to approach Chanmi again. This time, he asked her to meet him so they could talk. He even called her and begged her to see him. Finally, they met behind the campus. Gyoo-han asked Chanmi if it was true that she gave the bag he bought to someone else. To his shock, Chanmi admitted she had given it to Tae-yoon. Gyoo-han felt even more heartbroken. He wished with all his heart that he would stop liking Chanmi forever. But just as he said those words, he sneezed. What happened next was completely unexpected. After Gyoo-han sneezed, something surprising happened. Chanmi suddenly came up to him, apologized, and stayed close to him. She even invited him to dinner. When Gyoo-han got home, he excitedly told Hyuk-soo that the curse really worked. He felt so happy and started living each day with a big smile. But Gyoo-han didn't stop there. Since the sneezing curse seemed to work, he used it even more. With every sneeze, he managed to change things in his favor. Soon he had lots of friends and even got good grades in school. Life felt amazing, all thanks to the curse. Time passed, and Gyoo-han and Chanmi became closer. But Gyoo-han started losing his feelings for her. One day, he met with Chanmi and asked her not to like him anymore. It turned out there was a reason for his change of heart. Gyoo-han realized he liked Sakyoung more. His feelings for Sakyoung felt real and stronger than what he had for Chanmi. Determined to win Sakyoung's heart, Gyoo-han decided to work part-time at the restaurant where she worked. He became a waiter and did everything he could to get closer to her. But Sakyoung didn't make it easy. She acted cold and often seemed annoyed when Gyoo-han tried to help her. Even though Sakyoung wasn't very friendly, Gyoo-han didn't give up. He kept trying to talk to her and be around her. He also used the curse, saying over and over that he didn't like her, hoping his sneeze would turn things around, just like it did with Chanmi. Finally, Gyoo-han sneezed, sure it would change Sakyoung's feelings. But nothing happened. She still seemed annoyed with him. Gyoo-han sneezed again and again, saying the same thing, but her attitude didn't change. This made Gyoo-han start to wonder maybe the sneezing curse didn't work on Sakyoung. The next day at the restaurant, Gyoo-han gathered his courage and asked Sakyoung if she liked him. Hearing that, Sakyoung just gave him a strange look and told him to refill the empty sauce bottles. There, she completely ignored his question, leaving Gyoo-han feeling confused. Later, when Gyoo-han was at home, he got a surprise phone call. It was Min Cheol, the most popular student in class, inviting Gyoo-han to join him and some friends for drinks. Gyoo-han agreed, and they decided to meet at the restaurant where he and Sakyoung worked. When they arrived, the group saw Sakyoung working as a waitress. Min Cheol and his friends started teasing her. They mentioned that Sakyoung was actually their classmate, which shocked Gyoo-han. He had never seen her in class before. One of the friends, Soo-jin, explained that Sakyoung was on a break from college. Then, they all started gossiping about her, sharing rumors they'd heard. One day, Sakyoung was walking through the park when she accidentally saw Min Cheol arguing with his girlfriend. She decided to step in and check what was going on. During the confrontation, Sakyoung exposed Min Cheol's secret. He was a playboy who flirted with many girls. This made Min Cheol furious, and he grabbed Sakyoung's hand, trying to pull her away to talk. Just then, Gyoo-han appeared out of nowhere. He stepped in, taking Sakyoung's hand to protect her. That's when Sakyoung started telling the truth about all the rumors the friends had shared at the restaurant. She revealed a shocking secret. She and Min Cheol used to date, but they had kept their relationship hidden from everyone. One day, a terrible rumor spread around campus about Sakyoung meeting Min at a hotel. Sakyoung tried to explain that it wasn't true. She had only bumped into a professor from campus and greeted him politely. But her friends didn't believe her no matter how much she explained. Feeling frustrated, Sakyoung decided to go to Min Cheol for help. She reminded him that at the time of the hotel incident, she was actually with him. She asked him to explain the truth to their friends. Pulling Min Cheol along, she brought him to meet the group, hoping he would clear her name. But what happened shocked her. Instead of helping, Min Cheol denied everything. This made the others believe the rumors even more, and Sakyoung became their target again. Hurt and betrayed, Sakyoung told Gyoo-han the truth about everything. She then tried to leave, saying she had said enough and didn't want to deal with it anymore. But Gyoo-han wouldn't let go of her hand. He said it wasn't over because Min Cheol needed to apologize for what he had done. Just as Gyoo-han finished speaking, he sneezed and, as always, the curse kicked in. Suddenly, things flipped around. To everyone's surprise, Min Cheol dropped to his knees and apologized to Sakyoung. Across the street, Chanmi stood quietly, filming the entire scene with her phone. The next day, the video Chanmi recorded went viral, and everyone saw it. Min Cheol's friends quickly apologized to Sakyoung for spreading false rumors about her. As for Min Cheol, He was so embarrassed by the video that he stopped coming to college altogether. The scene shifts to the restaurant where Sakyoung works. A male customer asked her if she had a boyfriend. Sakyoung glanced at Gyoo-han before answering that she didn't have a boyfriend but liked someone. Gyoo-han, curious about what she meant, walked over to ask her. But then he remembered how Sakyoung had ignored his questions before, so he decided not to say anything. Surprisingly, Sakyoung boldly admitted that she liked Gyoo-han, leaving him overjoyed. That night, after the restaurant closed, Gyoo-han and Sakyoung shared a kiss. The next day, they went on their first date. They enjoyed cake at a cozy cafe and strolled around the city until evening. Before parting ways, Gyoo-han stopped by a flower shop to buy a bouquet for Sakyoung. However, as he stepped out of the shop, he saw Hyuk-soo being beaten by a man. Hyuk-soo managed to escape, but the man recognized Gyoo-han as his nephew and approached him aggressively. Just when Gyoo-han thought he was about to get hurt, Sakyoung grabbed his hand and told him to run. They found a narrow alley to hide in, and even though Sakyoung held his hand tightly, Gyoo-han couldn't shake off his worry. He remembered his uncle's warning about the curse going beyond its limit. Days passed, and Gyoo-han noticed a strange wound on his neck. Concerned, he went to Hyuk-soo for advice. His uncle explained that the only way to stop the curse was to hate Sakyoung. But Gyoo-han knew deep down he could never hate her. Determined to protect her, Gyoo-han began avoiding Sakyoung while they worked at the restaurant. He pulled away whenever she tried to touch him and even lied about feeling sick when she asked him out. Though it broke his heart, Gyoo-han hoped this distance would somehow keep her safe from the curse. When Sakyoung heard that Gyoo-han was sick, she decided to bring him some medicine at campus. But when she arrived, she saw Gyoo-han talking to another girl. Gyoo-han didn't even notice her message saying she was coming until later. When he saw her, Sakyoung quietly walked up, handed him the medicine, and left without saying much. Feeling guilty, Gyoo-han sent her a message afterward, asking her to keep trusting him. He didn't want her to misunderstand. Later, Gyoo-han and Sakyoung went on another date at a cafe. But Gyoo-han stayed quiet the whole time. Trying to break the silence, Sakyoung told him they should be honest about their feelings. Gyoo-han, however, insisted there was nothing to say. Frustrated, Sakyoung got up to leave. As she was walking out, someone accidentally bumped into her, spilling coffee on her shirt. She panicked because she had a job interview soon. Unfortunately, she ended up being late for the interview and felt really upset. Things got worse when Gyoo-han pulled his hand away as she tried to hold it for comfort. Hurt and disappointed, Sakyoung walked away, leaving him behind. At home, Gyoo-han couldn't stop crying. He felt heartbroken and didn't want to treat Sakyoung that way, but he believed he had no choice. His sadness overwhelmed him as he sat alone, regretting his actions. The following day, Gyoo-han asked Sakyoung to meet him. They met at the park, and Gyoo-han decided to tell her everything. He explained the truth about the curse and apologized for how their time together had been affected by it. Then, with all his heart, he told Sakyoung that he truly loved her. Sakyoung listened carefully and smiled. She told Gyoo-han that she loved him too, from the bottom of her heart. She was certain her feelings were real and had nothing to do with the curse. Hearing this, Gyoo-han felt so touched that he hugged her tightly. He hoped this would be the beginning of a happier and stronger relationship for them. After some time, Sakyoung returned to campus. On her first day back, her friends welcomed her warmly. She joined the same class as Gyoo-han, and the two even sat next to each other. They were happier than ever. The series ends with a sweet scene of Gyoo-han and Sakyoung sitting together on a swing at night. They held hands, smiling and enjoying the moment. But then, out of nowhere, it started pouring rain. Laughing, they ran to find shelter, still holding hands tightly. Even though Gyoo-han's bad luck struck again, it didn't matter to them. They had each other. The moral lesson from this film is don't sneeze near your crush cause it might ruin your shirt or your love life. But hey, if life sneezes on you, just wipe it off and keep trying.